Hey, my creative friends. I am at home in Sweden. We got home yesterday night, and today is New Year's Day Eve. But I decided, since Ellen's home, I wanted to run down to the craft store. It's called Kreatima, and they are the best craft store that I have found in Sweden. And so I decided to come down because there were a couple things. One thing in particular that I wanted to do when I came back from Sweden, well, actually, I picked two projects to do. The two projects were to do a painting and to try sculpture. I mean, to like the plaster sculpture, the clay sculpture. So I came down to look at the sculpture stuff, and it's just like way over my head. So we'll do that another day, because I want to try to show you how to go about doing something that you've never done before. You don't know the materials. You don't know what to ask or not to ask. So I'm totally not into or have done sculpture. So I'll leave that for another day where we can talk about that and kind of walk through it together and see how it goes. But I do know how to paint. So I wanted to show you something. I wanted to show you how to buy canvas. You can buy canvas like the regular canvases you see at Hobby Lobby or places like this, but this kind of canvas is canvas that is not on a frame. It's not on a board already, so it comes like fabric. And I'm going to turn you around first. So it comes like fabric and on rolls like that. And a lot of times they will have something that's like this that tells all of the quality of the canvases and the prices. And what's interesting about this is that these are primed canvases, which means they've applied gesso or some kind of thing over the top of the fabric in order to facilitate you going faster so you don't have to prime. They will sell just plain linen or cottons or common, I think those are the only two. But then you can feel and see what kind of weight you want, what kind of thickness you want. And then on the back side, you can see what fabric, like this is a burlap type fabric. So it has a much coarser texture on the front. So they will often have these canvases that you can feel and touch and kind of figure out what you want to do. So then what you do, linen is the most expensive, cotton is the least. The wider you get, so see those tall ones right there, they're over 6 feet tall, or they're wide. So you can make a canvas any size you want. And then what happens is, after you make the canvas, you can stretch, they call it stretching the canvas over stretcher bars. So you can basically do it yourself because they sell stretcher bars separately. You put them together for the size you want. And so that's just a little something, for you. I'm going to do my painting, and I don't think I'm going to stretch it on a stretcher bar. I want to try to do it large, but I think I'm going to skip the stretcher bar because I will have to pack it up when we move from Sweden. So I think what I'm going to do is they have other bars that you just put it across the top, and you can hook it to have a magnetic thing, and I can hang it that way. Or I've seen where you can put rivets in it and hang it a different way. So there's all kinds of hanging things that you can do. But for this, usually you'll take it somewhere and you'll have it stretched. So then what you do is you go by and get brushes. And what you want to do is you want to get like 3 types of brushes I got today, because I don't have any of my oil painting brushes. And the oil painting brushes, you want to use different than your like watercolor. Anything water-based or oil-based, you want to use separate brushes. So what I did is if I could only get one brush, I would get this brush. It's a filbert and a long handle one, just because you can get back further. Sure, you can paint with a short brush, but the reason they're longer is so that you can use your whole arm and you can paint like with an extended arm. And so then you can get more gesture and get more flow if you're doing something, especially if you're doing it large. But if I only had one brush to get, this would be it. So, but I got a couple more. I got a round, this is a filbert, a round, and I got a flat. So since I'm going to do mine large, I'm going to I picked out larger brushes. If you were going to do something really small, like a 5 by 5 or 6 by 6, then you can get the same sorts of brushes, just tiny, tiny, tiny. So so I wanted brushes, and then I also picked up, because I don't have any of my oil supplies. So this is like a mineral spirits, an odorless. So you want to get an odorless mineral spirit so that you can clean your brushes. There's a way to clean your brushes without that. A lot of times I will just use soap. I don't put any water in it. You just take soap. Well, first off, backtrack. You get your brush. You take some paper towels, wipe all the paint out that you can with a paper towel. Then take it to soap. Get the soap a little bit wet. Then take your brush and rub it on the soap bar or the squeeze soap. Rub it, rub it, rub it. Pull out the soapy, sudsy, oily paint water, and then no water, oily stuff in the paper towel. Keep doing that, and then at the very last, soap and water to clean out the brush. And that usually works, but you can also use mineral spirits. And then if I'm only going to use 3 paint colors, what I do is I will do the big ones, since I'm doing big ones. But if you're starting out, you can do the small ones. They have small ones too. But you get some basic colors, and I usually do raw umber, Payne's gray, and white. So those are the colors that I use. And so then I'm all set up. I'm all set up to do the painting, even though I don't have any supplies here. I can just pick up those few things and start my painting. So I just wanted to show you how to go about buying a canvas that's not your regular stretch board canvas, and how you just kind of go about it. And you can usually ask questions of people. They are they're here to sell products, so they're so happy to answer your questions and to help out. And so I think that's it for today. I might stop back by in a little bit when I go to the cafe, because I thought I wanted to talk about something else, but depends on how the trains are running. New Year's Eve here, I realized, since we've never been here, but I realize now New Year's Eve is a nighttime holiday. So people start celebrating when it gets dark. You start your parties. Well, if it gets dark and it's dark at 3 o'clock, guess what time everybody starts their partying here? 3 o'clock, 2 o'clock, everything is closed. Everything is closing down, I think, except for food places, bars, that kind of thing. But like stores, everything's closed down already. I'm surprised these guys are open. But anyways, just a Swedish thought about how they celebrate. So I might get back on, but in the meantime, remember, you have a creative heartbeat. Listen for it, and I will talk to you later. Bye.